Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're a first-time viewer, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much. Please like and comment on this video. This is my recap, my review for Greenleaf Season 1, Episode 12, Veni, Vidi, Vici. Now, this episode starts off actually with, well, technically, Lady May is talking to the ladies of the Deacon's Board, or the ladies of the church, the mothers of the church, so to speak, and she has to figure out what is going on. Because of all the foolishness that's been occurring with the church, they have the issue of attendance. Attendance is plummeted. Attendance is non-existent right now. And they're saying, why not put up Grace? Put up Grace because at least she's someone who, when she was actually up there, she brought in, single-handedly brought in the most offering that they've done in over a year or something of that nature. And so that's Connie. Connie clearly is the one who's truly in charge. Forget Lady May, forget Bishop, it's Connie. We see that, it's very apparent. This is where we have Carissa going and saying, well, you know what, maybe if we raise a fundraiser by, I don't know, what about us doing, what do you call it? What about us going and auctioning off something or changing venues? Lady May was like, no, I'd rather pay for this out of pocket myself than to change venues. So with that being said, she does that, and so she has to cut a check. Now with her cutting that check, Charity is like, oh no, why don't you let the church do that, Mom? Why don't you let the church do that? I'm thinking, Charity, I like you, but be quiet. Hush, hush, my child. Let your mom do that. Why? Because at the end of the day, they've taken a lot of money from the church, or they've had a lot of blessings, if you will, from the church, love tithing. So why won't she go and give some of that back? How about she goes and does that? Grace is unfortunately dealing with the fact that Ray is coming after her for for custody, because originally Ray he pretty much was the type of guy that, it's not that he didn't love his daughter, it's just that he didn't care enough to go and create a relationship with her originally when she was born. So instead, now he comes back years later when she's a teenager, and he's like, no, whatever you've been doing, it's been mediocre. Things need to change, and I need for you to go and give me 50-50. Grace is like, that's not happening, so now they have to go to court. They're in court right now, and it's not looking good, because you remember the guy from, if you guys watched If Loving You Is Wrong, which is coming back this Thursday, he played Quan. Well, I should say he plays Quan. I don't know if he's dead, or if he's just severely hurt. But the issue is that he comes and he tries to counsel Grace, but Grace broke the law. And because Grace broke the law, she has to deal with the consequences. The consequences being that she may lose custody. Well, she may lose the amount of custody she had with her daughter. And her daughter will have to go in court and testify against her father. And, or at least just say, you know, she wants to go and live with her mom. The judge said, after hearing everything, yeah, because you have to remember that Grace she didn't lose custody, but he's going to be allowed to take little Sophia away to Arizona for the summer, at least a minimum of 90 days, and then I think it was like she can technically have the opportunity to come back for schooling here, and she's pissed. She's over it, but Grace put Sophia in the household where she was with Uncle Mac, who was, that Grace was trying to prove is alleged, well, is child molester, abuser, sexual assault, abuser, what have you. And so, even though the judge didn't say that was the reason, if I was the judge, I would have been like, it's because you done messed up. Technically, it was just because she took Sophia out of state lines without informing the father. So Sophia is over it, over it, over it. Now, Bishop Skanks is on this whole thing of, he wants to go and get Bishop James's blessings. He pretty much gets it. He gets it. Jacob is looking at this like, this is going a little too smoothly. Something is off here. Because Bishop, after scanning sleeves, is just like, in all due time, time will tell. I'm thinking, are you trying to set up your son? Are you trying to set up your baby boy? Your only son? Now, Carissa is flirting with, this guy is flirting with her. I think he's a teacher, one of the teachers at her school, and clearly they've had some form of a relationship together, and it's very apparent because Clarissa's just like, look, we cannot do this anymore. My husband will be, we cannot do any of this anymore. Nope. Nope. And he gives this wandering look of, I understand. Now, Jacob, he goes and he's in his office. Charity sees that he's packing up. And Charity is like, what's going on? Jacob's like, don't get mad. Don't get mad. We didn't keep you out of the dark. What we did was, I have some news to tell you. Guess who's gonna be in charge of his own church? Guess what? It's me. It's me. And she's like, wait a minute. Where? Triumph? Yes. What? Did you tell that? Yes, he knows. And he got his blessing? Yeah. What about Mama? We still working on that, honey. And it was just like, but I know, I'm going to miss you. I love you. You're still my sister. And I'm going to miss you very much. Now, Grace goes and talks with Pseudo Quan, because I don't know his name on here. And the actor who played Quan on Floating News Wrong. And Quan's just like, I could tell there's definitely something. If Grace could just go over Noah and open up her eyes, that would be a nice relationship. Grace and this lawyer guy. But the lawyer just lets her know, yeah, because you lied, you can't do anything about it. You could technically go and do an appeal. And it's just like, no, I don't want to put her through that because Sophia didn't want to do this in the first place. But Grace is just like, let me see what that appeal would look like. It's like, I got you. Now, Charity goes, talks to Bishop, and Charity, of course, knows that Jacob's leaving. Bishop's just like, you know what? I want to give you his office because you do so much for the church and I love you so much. And Charity realizes that there's something wrong with Bishop. But Bishop hides it. He continues to hide it very well. Charity didn't poke the bear. I feel like that's why people don't tell her anything, because she doesn't poke the bear. Grace was slapped in the face by Noah, metaphorically speaking. Because Noah was just like, oh yeah, by the way, what did Noah say? Oh, yeah, Isabel's back in town. That's what Noah said through email. He's going to be back for Women's Day at the church, the event. Because Grace is supposed to be there as well. Just wanted to give you the heads up. For your information, Grace goes into Noah's office while Noah is trying to tell the police, you cannot let Lady May's father into this establishment ever. Grace goes and tells him, look, we have to talk because you go and send something like that so impersonal through email. Grace, here's the truth. Noah's been lying to you this whole time, and he's continued to do so. Noah and Isabel are supposed to work things out after spring break's over. So with that being said, now's the time for Noah and Isabel to get back together. Noah didn't know how to tell you that he actually spoke with Isabel after she initially left after the wedding. Noah is a habitual liar. He's a good guy, but he still fell into that usual trap of the Punani, and well, I call it a trap. Trap of not being able to be a man and say, this is done, I had to accept it. Or this is done, or this has to be put on hold. Now, Kevin goes out on a date with his guy, and yes, I phrased it like that because the guy who he was working with for the missionary stuff, yeah, he was just like, okay, so I'm so glad that I'm not part of the church anymore, only because now we get to do things like this. And Kevin was like, what are you talking about? So it's like, no, this isn't a date. He's not gay, all of that. Look, Kevin, we don't know what you are, and it's apparent that you don't either. I called it in my first recap, I was like, I don't think Kevin really knows that he's... And people are like, no, he definitely knows. Oh, he's doing that to her on purpose. I'm like, I honestly don't think Kevin knows. Kevin storms off because he's just like, no, this is nothing. This is nothing. Just like, why are we here having this type of dinner in this ambiance? I'll wait. Now, Carissa is speaking with Jacob because Jacob's not sure if he should be doing this, like what's going to happen with her school and all of that, the fact that they're going to have to move out. Carissa's just saying, I'm ready for it all. You're finally just stepping up to be the person that I want you to be. She didn't say that, but she might as well have said that. Grace goes and shows up to Mavis's bar. Charity goes and talks to Lady May, and Charity's just like, I know that Jacob is leaving. It's very weird. Why would this be the case? Listen to this.
Just have to ask him. So there is something wrong.
Alright. And that's the second part. Charity realizes that there's something wrong with her father, and her father doesn't want to tell her, and Lady May doesn't know, so she can't even tell Charity what's going on. Now, Kevin comes in, and Charity's just like, okay, I'm going to bed for the night. Lady May's just like, oh, you one of my favorite people. It's just like, I love you too. It's just like, regardless of what happened, you two can work it out. And then she's pretty much like, you better fix this. Regardless of what Bishop did, he never slept a day on the couch. So I don't know what you're doing wrong, but get it together. Yeah, your sons need to know what it's like to have their father in their life. The only way that's going to happen is if you actually do something about it. Now, here's the thing. Here is the thing. What are you going to do about it? Now, after that, we have Grace. She went back to Mavis, and, you know, Grace is caught in crossroads. Grace is just thinking, okay, what do I do? Because I know, I'm sorry, I wasn't really there for you because I had to be there for myself because there were issues with Ray and all of that. And maybe it's just like, no, stop it. You weren't there for me. I'm losing everything. You know your uncle is no good. You better get together, girl. You need to get it together right now and do something about it because you cannot quit now. Your sister is gone. And there's other women that are still getting hurt. So you need to step in and do something. Next, we have Ray, who's coming for Sophia. And Sophia is still very upset about it. But she has to pretend to be okay because her father's right there. Ray's just like, you know, you allowed Sophia to be in that house with you know who. And you did this without my consent. Done. I don't care what you think of me. I'm going to be there for my daughter. We're like, okay, we'll see. We'll give him chances because we don't have a choice. Now, Carissa is still flirting with this guy, and again, we're just like, okay, this is all well and good, but Carissa, you better get this together soon because you cannot allow this to continue to go on for too much longer. You hear me? Not for too much longer. Lady May was over it. She's just like, oh, you're doing this and your father let you? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's good. Yeah, right. But the only thing I have to say is, here's what I need from you. You're not going anywhere because Jacob thought that he was going to have to move out. Lady May said, not on my watch. Why would I want you to move out? You are my beloved son. We are going to keep this family together whether it wants to stay together or not. So we're like, okay, this still feels kind of off kilter, but Grace is talking to Sophia, and so Grace is like, do you want to talk? She was like, no, I'm actually going to talk to Zell because I'm done. I'm through. You messed up. I want to be here with you, with them, and I can't. And it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. And she's right because it is the adult's fault. That's how it usually is, though. But Lady May's trying to figure out what we're going to do next. Bishop is like, I'm not telling you what's going on, what the real issues are. Why can't you tell me? I know that you're sick. You have the kids thinking one thing when you know you can't keep this up for too much longer. Here's how this is going to work. You're going to make a solid decision. You're going to go and sit down for a moment, or I'm going to tell the kids what's going on with you. Really? Really? Next thing you know, Noah shows up at Grace's place, and Noah just has this look of, Noah just has this look of, we need to talk. And this is where we get the infamous scene. The infamous scene between Charity and Jacob. No, Charity and Kevin. He was just like, I have to tell you something, baby. I have to tell you the truth. This is like, okay, finally. What is it? You know, I've been battling this for a long time. I don't know what's going on. And I need your help. It's like, what is it? What does it do? On the phone, I've been, you know, I think I'm gay. I'm gay. And she was like, what? Wait, what? Because she thought maybe he was cheating on her, or at least thinking about cheating on her. No. He was like, okay. He was like, no, this is gonna be happening. Oh, I am. I'm so mad now. He was like, no. And then she plops. She plops, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what was going on? Now, when Noah and Noah are talking, I think this is when Noah's actually going to tell Grace what's been going on. They get interrupted because Charity falls to the ground, and now it's Charity's turn to, they have to rush her to the hospital. Jacob is in the ambulance. I'm thinking, if her blood pressure is the issue, Jacob shouldn't be in the ambulance, but no one knows what's going on at this moment. Carissa looked very concerned. Very concerned. Now, I'm surprised because we don't get a lot of emotion from Carissa. So when she was that worried, I was just like, wow, that's interesting. Because no one knows what's going on. So they're at the hospital and they're just like, okay, do you have things that are stressing you out in your life? She was like, no. This is Charity. You said no. Lady Mae said yes. Her family's been going through a tumultuous time. She's still been working, and to top it all off, her husband's sleeping on the couch. The doctor said, well, I don't know about the husband sleeping on the couch thing, but you need to do whatever you can to make sure that those kids are all right. She said, what do I have to do? You have to be on bed rest. You can't work anymore. So it's like, okay, I understand. Lady Mae goes, gives her a hug. Kevin tries to go and do something. He's just like, can I stay here? Can I do this? Can I do that? She said, no, you can go. Yeah, you can go. You are the reason that all of this is happening. You can go. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Watch my next recap now.